Ghislain addressed Amelia directly, warning her that his death would spark a war. He asked if she could truly handle the consequences. Unfazed, Amelia responded that if a ruffian barged in, caused chaos, and was subsequently killed by her escort knight, that would be the story the world would hear. Smiling, she ordered Bernarf to kill Ghislain. The knight drew his sword without hesitation, and Ghislain realized he had no choice but to take the situation seriously. Placing a hand on his sword hilt, Ghislain prepared to defend himself. Before he could act, Bernarf smiled, catching Ghislain off guard. A sudden noise broke the tension as an assassin emerged from a knight's armor positioned behind Ghislain. The assassin aimed a strike at Ghislain's chair, but Ghislain quickly jumped to avoid the attack. As the assassin struggled to free his weapon, Ghislain delivered a powerful kick to his chest, sending him crashing through the window. Both Amelia and Bernarf were visibly stunned by the display. Turning back to his hosts, Ghislain expressed disbelief at Amelia's feigned politeness while orchestrating a surprise attack. Picking up his sword, he remarked sarcastically on the poor hospitality. Without delay, he charged at Bernarf, swinging his weapon. The knight managed to block the attack. With a cold glare, Ghislain questioned whether Rayfold County had forgotten the principles of chivalry. Bernarf, unfazed, apologized mockingly. He reminded Ghislain that he had been the first to show disrespect by arriving unannounced and unsettling his mistress. Seizing Ghislain's sword, Bernarf locked it in his arms and declared that courtesy was unnecessary for someone like him. As Bernarf moved to attack, Ghislain evaded the strike with ease. Jumping into the air, Ghislain delivered a strong kick that forced Bernarf to retreat, creating space between them. Bernarf had heard rumors that Ghislain was all talk and lacked skill, but the man before him did not resemble a novice. Observing the exchange, Amelia demanded to know why her knight was fighting so conservatively. Angrily, she ordered Bernarf to bring her Ghislain's head, reminding him that fulfilling such commands defined him as her sword. Upon hearing the command, Bernarf assumed his stance and released his mana, daring Ghislain to step forward. Ghislain smirked, finding it absurd that a mere escort knight would presume to order him around. Bernarf, unfazed, remarked that he was doing Ghislain a favor. He advanced swiftly, appearing in front of Ghislain in an instant. Swinging his sword with incredible speed, he caught Ghislain off guard. Although Ghislain managed to dodge the strike, Bernarf's blade still grazed his face, leaving a shallow cut. Ghislain was stunned by the knight's speed and precision. Bernarf pressed his advantage, launching a series of fierce attacks. Ghislain struggled to parry each strike, the ferocity of the blows forcing him on the defensive. Observing the duel, Amelia was equally surprised and unsettled. She had not expected a so-called weakling like Ghislain to hold his own against Bernarf. Despite the display, Amelia remained confident in her knight's superior skill. Ghislain managed to block another strike, locking Bernarf's sword in place and moving his blade dangerously close to the knight's neck. Before he could land a decisive blow, Bernarf skillfully pulled his sword back and trapped Ghislain's weapon with his arm. Countering swiftly, Bernarf attacked with the same technique he had used earlier. Ghislain smirked, recognizing the maneuver and attempting to disarm Bernarf as he had before. However, this time, the outcome was different. Ghislain quickly realized that Bernarf's body had been reinforced with mana, allowing him to maintain his grip. Bernarf calmly informed Ghislain that his trick would not work twice. Seizing the opportunity, Bernarf slammed Ghislain to the ground and rushed forward to capitalize on the advantage. Ghislain, recovering quickly, deflected the oncoming strike and leaped backward, creating some distance between them. Assessing the situation, Ghislain deduced that Bernarf's use of mana had given him a significant physical edge. Bernarf took note of his opponent's resilience, remarking that Ghislain was far removed from the rumors. He acknowledged that one could truly understand an opponent's capabilities only by engaging in combat. Analyzing Ghislain's technique, Bernarf observed that his swordsmanship lacked the structure of formal training, appearing instead to have been honed through real combat experience. With a confident expression, Bernarf inquired if Ghislain had fought the barbarians so frequently that he had adopted their chaotic style. Tossing Ghislain's sword aside, Bernarf declared that such methods were only effective on the battlefield and that Ghislain's deviation would end now. Breathing heavily, Ghislain silently admitted the difficulty of the battle. Bernarf's precise thrusts, aimed narrowly at vital points, disrupted Ghislain's sense of timing and distance. At close range, Bernarfa's larger frame and refined techniques created an overwhelming advantage. Ghislain realized that Bernarf was an opponent beyond his current level. Raising his hand, Ghislain revealed a mana thread attached to his wrist. He informed Bernarf that his own time was running out as well. Pulling the thread sharply, Ghislain caught the knight off guard. Bernarf, unfamiliar with the technique, hesitated for a fraction of a second. Using this opening, Ghislain struck Bernarf at the back of his head with the hilt of his sword. As Bernarf staggered, his stance faltered, and Ghislain advanced. Delivering a powerful knee strike to Bernarf's face, Ghislain left the knight disoriented. Bernarf, confused and unable to process what had just transpired, could not fathom how Ghislain had managed to position his weapon so effectively. Amelia called out to Bernarf, but Ghislain immediately raised his sword and launched an attack. To Ghislain's surprise, Bernarf managed to block the strike and countered by pushing him back with his own blade. Despite the force, Ghislain held his ground. Observing the intensity of the battle, Bernarf turned to Amelia and urged her to leave the room, stating that he could no longer guarantee her safety. With a determined expression, the knight declared that he would now give his best effort. Ghislain, unfazed, smirked coldly and remarked that this was precisely what he wanted, admitting that it had been a long time since he had faced such an entertaining opponent.
So, friends, this chapter comes to an end. What will happen next? We'll uncover it in the next chapter. Don't forget to rate this chapter out of 10 in the comments. We'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care and goodbye. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.